Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So it's 2025 and you're thinking about getting an iPhone, but which one? You look online and it's just a sea of numbers: 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, Pro, Pro Max, Plus. It's honestly overwhelming. You just want to know one thing: what is the smartest way to spend your money? Not just the cheapest and not just the newest, but the best actual value for right now and for the next few years. Well, that's exactly what we're going to figure out today. My goal here isn't to push you towards the most expensive phone. It's to break down the real-world experience of using these devices today, cut through all the marketing hype, and find those sweet spot phones that give you the most bang for your buck. So here's the plan. We're gonna look at 4 key iPhones that I think represent 4 very different but very smart buying decisions in 2025. First, the iPhone 11, our rock-bottom, budget-friendly entry ticket into the Apple world. Next, the iPhone 13, which I believe is the value king, the best balance of modern features and price for most people. Then we'll step it up to the iPhone 13 Pro, the enthusiast's deal, for those who want pro features without the pro price tag. And finally, the iPhone 15 Pro, our future-proof workhorse, the phone you buy if you want to be on the cutting edge for years to come. For each one, we'll cover the performance, the cameras, the things you really need to watch out for, and exactly who should be buying it. Ready? Let's get into it. Alright, let's start with the oldest phone on our list, the iPhone 11, released way back in 2019. In 2025, this is what I consider the absolute baseline for a usable, decent iPhone experience. On the used and refurbished market, you can find these starting around $175, which is just an incredible value for getting into the Apple ecosystem. Now, the single biggest reason the iPhone 11 is even in this conversation is software support. Apple has confirmed it gets iOS 26. This is huge. It means you're getting the latest security patches and most of the new interface tweaks, like the new liquid glass that were introduced for a phone that's pushing 6 years old. That's amazing longevity and a testament to Apple's ecosystem. Under the hood, it's running the A13 Bionic chip with 4 GB of RAM. Now let's be real, this isn't going to feel like a brand new phone. You might see some stutters here and there, but for day-to-day stuff, we're talking social media, YouTube, messaging, light browsing, it's still perfectly capable. In fact, some user reviews from this year confirm it can even handle heavy games like Genshin Impact, though it does get hot when you push it that hard. And the cameras are still pretty good. This was the first base model iPhone to feature a dual camera system with both a wide and an ultra wide lens. It also introduced night mode, which was a game changer back then for low light photos. For casual point and shoot pictures for Instagram or family photos, the quality is surprisingly good and gives you a lot more flexibility than an older single lens phone. Okay, so what are the trade-offs? Well, the first major compromise is the screen. It's a 6.1-inch Liquid Retina IPS LCD panel, not an OLED like all the other phones on this list. This means blacks won't be as deep, and colors won't pop as much. It's a perfectly fine screen, but when you put it next to a modern iPhone, it definitely looks dated. It's also a 4G only phone, so you're not getting any of those faster 5G speeds, and it still uses the old Lightning port, which is just a bit of a hassle in a world that's pretty much all in on USB-C now. But this next point is the most important one. Battery health is critical. You're buying a 5-6-year-old phone, the original battery is likely gonna be pretty worn out. Online forums are filled with users who have 70-something% battery health and need to carry a power bank with them at all times just to get through the day. If you buy one of these, you must check that the battery health is over 85%, or even better, that the battery has been recently and properly replaced. Otherwise, you have to factor in the cost of getting a new battery right away. And finally, the big one. While the iPhone 11 gets iOS 26, it marks a major shift in what software support really means. It does not get Apple Intelligence. All the new fancy on-device AI features that Apple is building its future around are completely off limits. This phone is on its last legs for software updates. iOS 26 is very likely going to be its final major update. So you're getting the new look, but not the new brain. So who should actually buy an iPhone 11 in 2025? It's for the person on the absolute tightest budget who just wants iMessage, FaceTime, and access to the App Store. It's a great first phone for a teenager, a solid secondary device, or for someone who just needs the basics and fully understands they're buying a phone at the very end of its life. Next up, the iPhone 13 from 2021. And folks, I think this is the smartest buy for the vast majority of people in 2025. On the used market, you can find them starting around 270 bucks. And for that price, the leap in quality and features you get from the iPhone 11 is absolutely massive. This is where the truly modern iPhone experience really begins. Right away, you can see the difference. It has the modern flat edge design and most importantly, a beautiful 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display. It's brighter, it's sharper, and the colors are way more vibrant than the 11's LCD. It just looks and feels like a premium modern device. It's powered by the A15 Bionic chip, which is an absolute beast. This chip is significantly faster than the A13 in the iPhone 11. And even in 2025, it feels incredibly fast and responsive for pretty much anything you can throw at it. It also has 5G, so you're covered for modern network speeds. The camera system is another huge upgrade. The main sensor is much larger, letting in more light for better, cleaner photos, especially at night. It also has sensor shift stabilization, which was a pro-level feature that helps you get less blurry shots. And you get access to cinematic mode, which is that cool video feature that blurs the background to give your videos a movie-like look. And the battery life on the 13 is a known champion. With a healthy battery, this is an easy all-day phone lasting significantly longer than an iPhone 11 or even the iPhone 12 that came before it. User experiences after 2 years show battery health holding up reasonably well, often in the high 80s, which is a great sign for longevity. So what's the catch? Well, the biggest trade-off is the display's refresh rate. It's stuck at 60 Hz. Now, for most people, this is totally fine, but when you put it next to a Pro model with a 120Hz screen, the scrolling and animations on the Pro just look and feel noticeably smoother. The other, more hidden weakness is the RAM. Like the iPhone 11, the base iPhone 13 only has 4GB of RAM. This is probably its main weakness for long-term use. Some users online already complain about apps having to reload more often than they'd like, especially when multitasking heavily. Historically, we've seen that iPhones with more RAM tend to age more gracefully and handle future software updates better. This is the primary bottleneck that will make the phone feel older faster than the processor will. And just like the 11, despite being a much more powerful and modern phone, the iPhone 13's A15 chip does not support Apple Intelligence. It's on the wrong side of that AI divide. It will get software updates for years to come, probably until at least 2027, but it will be in that lower tier of support, missing out on the key new features. So who is this for? The iPhone 13 is for almost everyone. If you're coming from an iPhone 11 or anything older, the upgrade will feel monumental. If you want a fantastic, reliable, modern iPhone that will last you for another 2 to 3 years without any major complaints, and you don't want to spend Pro money, this is the one. It is the undisputed king of value in the Apple ecosystem right now. Okay, but what if you have a little more to spend? For around $350 to $380, you can step up from the base 13 to the iPhone 13 Pro. And I'm gonna be bold here, for that relatively small price jump on the used market, the upgrades you get make this one of the smartest purchases you can possibly make. This is where you get the true pro experience for a bargain. The number one reason to get this phone is the display. It has ProMotion, which means the screen has an adaptive 120Hz refresh rate. Everything from scrolling through websites to swiping between apps feels incredibly fluid and responsive. It just makes the phone feel faster and more premium. Seriously, once you use it, it's really hard to go back to a 60Hz screen. But here's the hidden gem. The RAM. The 13 Pro comes with 6GB of RAM, up from 4GB in the regular 13. That 50% increase is huge for multitasking and future-proofing. You'll have fewer apps reloading in the background, and the phone will handle future, more demanding iOS updates much more gracefully. The A15 chip in the Pro model also has an extra GPU core, making it a bit better for gaming. And of course, you get a true pro camera system. This means you get a third camera, a telephoto lens. This gives you a proper 3x optical zoom, which is perfect for taking flattering portraits and getting closer to your subject without losing any quality. You also unlock pro features like shooting in ProRAW for photos and ProRes for video, which give you much more flexibility if you like to edit your content. Finally, it just feels more premium in the hand with a polished surgical grade stainless steel frame instead of the aluminum on the base model. The downsides here are pretty much the same as the regular 13. It's still using a lightning port, and crucially, it's on the wrong side of the Apple Intelligence divide. So while it's a pro phone in every hardware sense, it's a pro from the pre-AI era. That's the one major compromise you're making for this incredible price. Who is this for? This phone is for the tech enthusiast on a budget. It's for the person who notices and appreciates a super smooth screen. It's for the aspiring mobile photographer who really wants that telephoto lens. If you plan to keep your phone for 3 or more years and you're a heavy multitasker, the extra RAM alone makes the 13 Pro absolutely worth the small price premium over the regular 13. It's a device that punched way above its weight when it launched, and its Pro DNA is exactly why it remains such a brilliant option today. Finally, we have the iPhone 15 Pro from 2023. This is the most expensive phone on our list, coming in at around $630,000 on the refurbished market. This isn't the budget pick or the value king. This is the buy it once and don't worry for 5 years phone. It's the true future-proof workhorse. This is the #1 reason to buy this phone over any of the others. Apple Intelligence is here, which means it's future-proof. It has the A17 Pro chip and 8 GB of RAM. This powerful combination is what's required to run Apple Intelligence, Apple's new suite of on-device AI features. This includes advanced writing tools, new Siri capabilities that can understand what's on your screen, image generation, and so much more. This is the future of the iPhone software experience, and the 15 Pro is your entry ticket. It marks a clear line in the sand. Phones before this are part of the classic iOS era, and this phone is the start of the AI-enhanced era. Next, it has a USB-C port. Finally, but not all USB-C is created equal. The 15 Pro has a USB 3 port which supports data transfer speeds up to 10 gigs per second. That is up to 20 times faster than the Lightning port on the other phones. If you're a content creator shooting big ProRes video files, you can record directly to an external SSD. This is a legitimate game changer for pro workflows that simply isn't possible on the older models. The performance and design are also peak. The A17 Pro chip is a screamer, and with 8 GB of RAM, multitasking is absolutely flawless. The design is also a step up with a lighter and stronger titanium frame, the super useful dynamic island, instead of the old notch, and the customizable action button on the side. And the camera system is another evolution. You get a massive 48 megapixel main sensor that can capture incredible detail, even better low light performance, and if you opt for the Pro Max model, you get an even better 5x telephoto lens. It's a truly top tier camera that will hold up for years to come. The only real downside here is the price. At over $600, it's more than double the cost of an iPhone 13. You have to be someone who will actually use these pro features and wants access to Apple's AI future to justify that cost. For some heavy users, the battery life on the smaller 6.1-inch Pro model can also be a bit of a concern compared to the larger Pro Max or newer models. So who is this for? The iPhone 15 Pro is for the power user, the content creator, or the pragmatic buyer who values longevity above all else. If you want the best camera, the fastest performance, the convenience of high-speed USB-C, and most importantly, you want to be part of Apple's AI ecosystem for the next 4 to 5 years, this is the smartest and really the only choice on this list. Okay, so that was a lot of information. Let's boil it all down. I'm gonna put a chart on screen right now that summarizes everything, but here's the bottom line. So here's my conclusion. If you have less than $200 and just need a basic iPhone that works, get the iPhone 11. Just be absolutely sure to check that battery health. If you're like most people and want the best overall value, a modern design, great camera, and solid performance for the next couple of years, the iPhone 13 is your answer. If you're an enthusiast who values a buttery smooth screen and better multitasking and you plan to keep your phone for a long time, spend the extra bit of money and get the iPhone 13 Pro. The extra RAM and 120Hz display are absolutely worth it. And finally, if you want a phone that is truly future-proof, with access to all of Apple's new AI features and the best hardware you can get without buying new, the iPhone 15 Pro is the long-term investment that will pay off for years. Ultimately, the smartest buy is the one that fits your needs and your budget. I hope this breakdown helped make that decision just a little bit easier for you. But now I want to hear from you. What iPhone are you using right now? And which of these do you think is the smartest buy? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to chat about it. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you found this helpful, a thumbs up is always appreciated, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.